Hello and welcome to my Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis speedrun with commentary.
Well, here I am.
We are going to be starting time as soon as I click on this taxi. So 3, 2, 1.
Grand.
Normally we would not be doing this, but for marathons, this helps cut down on time loss if we get the worst RNG. We're going to open the office door, go inside. We're going to open this icebox and pick up some mayonnaise. Hopefully we won't need it. But if we get the worst RNG, we have it early just in case. Now we're going to grab this newspaper. Come over here, we're going to push the crates out of the way so we can get to a ladder at the back of this alleyway. Climb this ladder and talk to the stagehand. We're going to do this twice. And we're going to give him the newspaper, which is going to distract him enough that we can get to the controls and end the show early. Basically ruining Sophia's presentation. And now we're going to be spamming skip cutscene and skip text in the hopes of being able to skip this next cutscene.
Are you what's up? Which? Let's.
And we got it. We got the cutscene skip there. We're off to Iceland. This is one of the only overworld parts that you cannot skip. We're going to go in this dig site where we're going to talk to somebody, but we're going to try to stay near the door. We're going to bug the game a little bit so that Sophia walks up there instead of us and we get to stand by the door. So once we're done with the conversation, we just have a short walk on our way out, and then we're good to go. Now we're going to head out to call. And I believe we got the best RNG here with the rodent. So we're going to use the whip near the rodent as soon as it runs to that door. And then it ate my inputs. Now we have to get it back to that door. The capybara is known for eating inputs. It is known for being a troll. There we go. That's okay, it meets its end in just a moment. Clearing the way for us to use that tree as a mock bridge. Cross over the ravine. We'll head into the temple, but we'll get stopped.
What can you let? What? How do I tell?
And we got the skip there. Basically, we stopped him from going back into the temple, which is a bit of a time loss if he goes back inside. But by clicking on the background and then the foreground, we can actually keep him out here. Next, we're going to have Sophia distract. There we go. Distract him. While we go outside and steal a lamp. An oil lamp. Kerosene lamp. We're going to pick that up. Go back to the temple. We're going to open it on the way back. So that way you're ready to use the oil to loosen up this spiral design from the wall. Which we're then going to pick up. Use it over here. And then pull the trunk. Opening this secret compartment, which has a shiny bead in it. That bead is what we need to progress. Luckily, he does not notice it, so he walks away. We can come over and just pick up the shiny bead. And that's all that we need to do in this location, so we can head out. Luckily, on the way back, we can take Sophia's path, which is just the path around the jungle rather than through the jungle. We're going to go back to Iceland, where the man that we talked to earlier has met an unseemly fate. Use that orichalcum bead with a snake. Heats it up, melts the ice, and we're able to get it. Now we're going to take that to a collector to get some information on where Plato's Lost Dialogue is. And the Azores. First things first, we let Sophia do the talking, so we're going to switch over to Sophia by talking to her.
What?
Let's get through all the dialogue, and we switch back to Andy.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Oh.
And now there's one piece of dialogue we need to listen to here, which is right here.
The Pierce
Collection. We need to remember Pierce Collection. First thing we're going to do is we're going to exit the conversation that we're having with Sophia by clicking in the background.
So why?
Wait here. Well,
No.
And then we're going to go upstairs and look at an overturned bookshelf. If it says that it is the Pierce Collection, that's what we want.
I believe it's part of.
It is. Okay, cool.
It's an old lecture. Sure
We're going
is.
to get some
gooey.
gum from the underside of that desk, which we'll need in just a second. We're going to go downstairs. We're going to pick up a piece of coal. And then we're going to use the gum on this coal chute in order to walk up it. And we're going to use that lump of coal with this book in the ceiling, which happens to be the dialogue. We knew it was the dialogue because the Pierce Collection was the overturned shelf. And that's the collection that the collector told us about. So we're gonna cross the street here, we're going to open this book, go to the second tab, and we're going to take a quick picture of it. For later reference. Go inside the office, talk to Sophia,
Not.
and we're going to select the fist path here by telling her that we want to go it alone.
So long in.
So there's fist path, wits path, and team path in this game. 3 different paths, 3 different ways to play the game. We want to do the fist path. We need to talk to Alan Trottier, which is this man here. And we need to answer 1 question to get a business card from him. That way we can go to Algiers and give that business card to somebody who's going to lead us to Omar. So we're going to give the business card to him, and then we're going to track him down through the city streets. As that red dot there, that's him. We're the brown dot. We got fairly good RNG there. That was actually
Only I will.
quite quick.
Could be useful in the right spot.
Hideous.
We're going to use our whip to knock that piece of furniture down onto the Nazi, knocking out the Nazi. That was Omar there. Gave us some information, but we're going to use this camel to traverse the desert now. We're looking for a dig site. There are 4 possible dig sites. We want it to be the first dig site. That's obviously the best RNG. First one is on the next screen. Anytime that you run into one of the Nazis in the cars, you get into a little bit of a confrontation, which hopefully we can avoid. We got lucky, it's the first dig site. So that's beautiful. Okay, we're going to use this ladder here, and then I'm going to use something off screen to help me figure out what the stone rotations are. We want warning. Okay. We're going to pick up this sharp wood thing. We're going to come over here to this little metal thing and use it. I'll go over the stones a little bit in a second. First, we're going to come over here and we're going to push this round object, which is going to open up a secret passage. Gives us a stone disc. That's the sun disc. We're going to pick up this wooden peg, come over to this wall, use the ship rig to break off part of the wall. Use the peg with the sunstone. And then we need to do this 7 times. That was too many times.
I did.
There we go. Nope. Please, please, please. Thank you. There we go. Now we need to remember to pick up the stone disc. So the rotation of the stone disc is dependent upon what it says in Plato's diary. It's kind of a riddle. So we have a sheet that we use, basically an Excel sheet that tells us how many rotations we need to use in order to get to the correct spot. The maximum number of rotations you can have is 7, and I needed 7 for that one. So it was the worst RNG for that, but we still got the first site, which is best.
Crete, here I...
Alright, we made it to Crete. And good time as well. Here we're going to be using some surveying equipment. And hopefully some fast walking tech. If I'm fast enough. So we got the surveyor's kit. Now we're going to walk around here, down to the bottom. We're going to push some stones, and if there's a statue underneath it, we're going to use the surveying equipment on the statue to help us find where we need to dig. Almost there. Here's the first set of stones we need to push. Okay, no luck there.
They won't.
Over to these stones here. Okay, found the first one, so we're going to do some surveying.
I see the left horn.
Pick up the equipment. We did not get the fast move, but that's okay because this is the closest one, so we don't really need the fast move that much. It helps a little bit. Now we're going to use this on the second bull's horn. I didn't get the fast movement there either, unfortunately. But we're going to come over here, we're going to use the ship rib on the X, which is going to dig up the moonstone. Now we have the sunstone and the moonstone. Which are both needed in order to access our first maze. Okay, here's the pedestal, so we're going to use the sunstone first. Use the moonstone, and then I need to do 7 rotations for each. That opens that door. But a Nazi comes out, so it's time to do another sucker punch. There is a fighting mechanic in this game. It is incredibly challenging to do. So instead we just sucker punch all of the enemies, because fortunately that is a button that is in the game for us. We did not get the speed strat here, unfortunately. So we're going to have to use our whip on this statue head. If the correct statue head is left there third, which I believe is RNG, we can just pick it up and go through the door, because we're close enough to the door that we can reach it before it closes. But we did not get that RNG, so we had to use the whip to get it instead. We knocked this bull's head down to add some weight to this little floor piece here, which turns out to be an elevator. Come over here, get the staff. Look at the waterfall, which has a chain behind it. It's going to lead us back up and out. I'm going to be careful not to step on the elevator. We're going to place the statue heads on the shelf. Going to lower the shelf and then open the door. Come up here, go to the right. Now we're going to use that staff, push down this chalk. Then we're going to go back down below where that chalk fell. Use the staff with a giant stone head. We're just going to activate another elevator. Pick up this gold box, leave the room, and we're going to open it on our way. We're going to use our orichalcum bead to put that into the golden box. And then we're going to close that golden box. Later on, we're going to be using an item that gets interfered with by orichalcum. So by having the orichalcum in the golden box, it stops it from interfering with that item and allows us to use that item how we want.
Sure.
Okay. Push that door several times till we get through. Use our whip to get across this gap. Now it's time to punch some Nazis. First one we push a slab down onto. Second one gets sucker punched. Third one's gonna get sucker punched.
Come forward. You
Fourth one,
explain yourself.
surprisingly, sucker punched. However, the fifth one, not so fortunate. Fifth one gets a giant stalactite dropped on it. Which we're then just going to pick up, because I'm sure it's light enough for Andy to carry. Use our ship rib with this boulder, but it backfires and blocks us in here. Luckily there's another route around. This is one very burly man who we do not want to fight. We're going to go about it a little differently. We're going to come over here and
It's a wedge-shaped piece of rock.
use this stalactite with the boulder. Which has great effect on Strong Boy. Now here's where we get the item that is interfered with by orichalcum. We get this fish on a string, amber fish on a string. We need to go around using this to track down Sophia. Sophia has an orichalcum necklace, so we're trying to find her by using this. Right now we've checked 2 locations, have not found her. Here's a 3rd location. And here she is. It pointed down. We got the victory music. So we got Sophia, and Sophia had the moonstone. So now we have the sunstone. Sorry, she had the worldstone. So we have the sunstone, moonstone, and worldstone, which is all of the stones that we'll need. Come to the middle here, and we're going to place them. And I know where those rotations are based on the Excel sheet that we use. And we're leaving the labyrinth. Going to Thera,
What's our... Oh,
which we're going to try to catch a boat to go and find the lost city of Atlantis. But first, we need to make a detour. You go to the gap in the mountain. There's 3 different places they can be. Here, here, and here. We got the first one, that's good.
Doesn't seem to
We need to
open.
pick up the tire repair kit. Now in Plato's Lost Dialogue, it mentions 350 miles northwest. We know it's an error in translation though. So we actually want to do, instead of 350, we do 35. And instead of northwest, we do southeast. So 35 southeast is what we're going to answer here. Southeast. Go out on the boat. Open this. Use the air hose with the diving suit. And then we're going to patch up the diving suit because it's got some holes. So we're going to use it so Indy gets in. And then we're going to use this crane to lower Indy into the water.
Now,
Don't forget to
brother,
split.
I have but
Unfortunately, the Nazis show up, cut our airlines. We have a limited amount of time underwater to check out these different caves. There are, I believe, 7 different caves. Any of them can be the correct cave. You just have to try all of them. So this is another area of time loss for the run, as well as finding which pit Sophia is in. Well, we got on the 3rd cave, which is actually pretty quick. And we're walking around in the dark. We're going to pick up this wood thing, which happens to be a ladder. We're going to walk over here. We're going to use that ladder with the rubble so that we can climb up. And we're going to pick up that ladder. Open the stone thing, as it's called. Use some orichalcum beads in there to turn on some lights. Then we're going to use the sunstone, moonstone, and worldstone, and we need to do the opposites of what we did originally. Use another orichalcum bead, and remember to pick up all 3 of these.
I can't.
Okay. Now we're on to the labyrinth. Oh, we got a good first room. We got one of the items we need. Basically, we're going to be going through all of the rooms here, trying to get certain items. It's completely RNG as to where these items are. So we just have to go back and forth through all of the rooms, trying to figure out where everything is, collect everything, and find the quickest route through all of this. This is another area of huge time loss. You can lose upwards of 3 minutes here with bad RNG, and you can skip as many as, I think, 4 or 5 rooms if you get good RNG. But I've only had that one try. These grates can be shortcuts that lead to other rooms, or they can lead to items. This is an item that we don't actually need, unfortunately, so no point in grabbing that. Check this room. This one has a grate, but I'm going to come back to it because I need to get down to this hallway first. I'm going to use our ladder here with the hole to cross, pick up this cup, walk back across, pick up the ladder, and we're going to go down to the end of the hallway here. Here there is a skeleton that we're going to pick up the rib cage from. We're going to use that rib cage with our bubble gum
It worked.
that we got off the bottom of a school desk in the beginning of the game to make a trap for a crab. Don't ask me how bubble gum inside of a rib cage makes a trap, but it does. So now we're going to go back to this room and we're going to check the grate, see where that leads. There's still 2 more rooms here. And we need to get to this room here, but the only way to get there is through a grate. We're hoping that this grate will lead us there. It does not. It led us to a prison room, which we need to get to, but we're in the wrong section of the prison room. And we were going to get in a fight here. But we're going to ignore that fight and just do the dialogue and move on. For some reason, the Nazis are totally cool with us just saying, yeah, we're in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. We can just walk away. There's another item we need, a bronze gear. And another grate. I'll open the grate, but I'm going to go and check out this other room first. Because if that takes me to another section, I don't want to have to come back here. Of course, this one has a grate too, so they could lead to each other. We'll see. Nope, this one is the grate that we needed, so we're going to use the orichalcum here. When we first got here, we were in the lower section of this prison. This time we're in the top left, which is where we need to be, in order to place the orichalcum bead, which makes that stomp its way over there and kill the Nazi. So we'll be able to pick up an item later because of that. Now we're going to go through this room, which is likely a shortcut. It could lead to the room in the middle. It did not. Wait and see where this Nazi goes. Check out this room. Here's another grate, so this probably leads to the room that we need to. See if we can get a teleport. Nope. It did not lead to the room we needed. We have the head and the cup, so we can do this part. We'll use the cup here. Use the head here. That gets us a little cup of lava, which we'll need shortly. This room might have the final grate. We got really unlucky with the grates, unfortunately. Yep, this has a grate. This should be it. I'm going to try to get the teleport. We got it. Teleported into the room rather than walking around to it. Spoked wheel, that's the last item we need. I'll go back. We have to go all the way back to the beginning because that's where the crab room is and that's where the machine room is. We will get into one more encounter here. where our head disappears. Nice little bug in the game. So we did get to skip these 3 rooms, but the rest of it was not great as far as RNG goes. We use our crab trap with the bubble gum. Catch a crab, which is also RNG as far as how long it takes for the crab to come to you. Now we'll go to the machine room. We need to place this bronze spoked wheel here. Go to the top of the machine, where we're going to dump in this lava-filled cup into a funnel, which is going to make some orichalcum beads for us. Work our way back down to the bottom. Pick up the beads in the dish, which we'll use later on. Pick up the bronze spoked wheel, and now we can head out. Almost done with this section. Barely avoided a confrontation there. If you click in the right spot, you can get better pathing here. Alright. We'll get in one last encounter.
Don't.
Oh look, a puzzle in a room. We just go back out, back in, and we can completely bypass that puzzle. We're back in the prison. Pick up a statue part. Work our way back out. We now have all the statue parts that we need. We're going to go to the middle ring here. We're going to use our trapped crab with this octopus. We have to wait for its arms to go down, which is also RNG, time dependent. Then we need to cross the water here. Get onto the crab and use orichalcum in the crab's mouth, which turns it on. Then we need to use the sunstone with the spindle here, opening that gate. We will continue to float left, and we'll use the moonstone with the second gate. We'll wait to click it until we get nearby it. And then in the next room, we've got an item we have to pick up, so we're going to come over to the side here. I was wrong, we don't have all the parts that we need for the robot. For the, for the robot. There's one more piece here. That's our last piece. Come down here, get back onto the crab. Over here, we're going to use the world stone this time. Just going to open up this last gate. Get off the crab. We're going to use the ladder here, open up the sentry statue chest plate. And then we're going to do a little puzzle here.
I can't put it there.
That lowers the arm. Use a chain with the bronze loop over here. Use the other chain with this bronze loop. And we're going to climb back up. Change the part a little bit.
Well, nothing happened.
Oh, that was too fast. And then it pulls the door down for us. And a hinge pin pops out. pick up the hinge pin, and we go to the middle here, and that's going to be the end of that section. Now we're on the inner circle here. Getting close to the end of the game. Got the scepter here. That's all we need from this room. Now we find this big old machine here, which is effectively a drill. I need to remember middle, middle, left, middle. We're going to use the scepter and hinge pin up here. We're going to push each one of them upwards.
It's working.
Start the machine. We'll use this one with this one. Oh no, I think I messed up. Yeah, no, that's a death. No, I'm just kidding. That is exactly what's supposed to happen. Luckily, Andy gets out fast enough. Nothing bad happens. Now we're on to another maze. This game loves its mazes. This is just an easy door maze. Always the same. But there is some information that we have to gather as we're going through it, which I'll point out in just a second. On the background there's 3 circles, which are basically the stones. So Moonstone needs to be at the bottom, Sunstone needs to be at the right, and we want the volcano to be at the bottom as well. That's what these 3 are right here. So bottom for Moon, right for Sun, bottom for volcano. We go through this last door here. And then we've got a puzzle down here, so we need to go... Once I get down here, I can see the rest of the puzzle. I have to be really careful here because I can die and that ruins the entire run. Okay, we should be good if we start over here. Whichever direction we're moving, the one straight ahead of us falls down into the lava. If we don't do it correctly, we basically don't have a path across and we fall into the lava, which kills the run. Unless you did a safety save beforehand. I usually don't do. Coming up on the final room here. We're going to first use all 3 stones. And we'll set the moon at the bottom, the sun at the right, and the volcano at the bottom, just like it was on the wall. There we go. Sun on the right, moon at the bottom, volcano at the bottom. That activates the final machine. However, the Nazis were lurking nearby, just waiting for this to happen. So we're gonna have to deal with them. Time ends when I select the final dialogue option. And I have to be very careful with the dialogue here as well, because if I select the wrong dialogue, I'll get the wrong ending, which is another dead run. Luckily, at the beginning it starts out very easy. It's all the first dialogue. Once we get to the second dialogue, things start to get a little weird. I'm going to go nice and slow on the dialogue just to make sure that we do it correctly. Basically, they put the wrong number of beads in and screwed up the process, killing the Nazi. Watch.
No.
That's the final
You
dialogue.
won't get the upper hand that way. Stand aside.
So we actually told him the correct way to do it, but Sophia, who is possessed by Nurab Sal, who is former Atlantean, comes in and hops in to the spot instead, where it now works correctly and she's turned into a god. And he quickly makes his escape from the temple. Steals the Nazi submarine. As the volcano rises and erupts.
You know, a lot of my discoveries seem like tall tales even to me. But at least there's some evidence this time. Rats.
And the volcano sinks
Why
below the
didn't
waves.
you listen to me, Sophia?
Or Sophia. That's the end of the game. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I explained most of the things that I was doing. It's a bit of a hectic run, a lot going on, a lot to think about. So it's a little difficult to commentate, but hopefully I did it justice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.